Alright guys, I wanted to readdress this page. Received a couple of emails and comments from people who looked like they were in distress, so just want to alleviate some issues very quickly, or as quickly as I'm able to. So, these problems, so this first problem on page 12, right, I'm starting on that first page of these. I think we were all kind of fooled by this page, but when you take a look at it, it's not as challenging, and I think the key here is going to be perseverance. If you stick with this, you will be able to figure it out, right? There's no secret hidden formula to figuring out, it's really just puzzle solving. But you can use a lot of the algebra that we learned. So on each page there's 5 problems, right? Page 12 and 13. I'm looking at the exact same page you guys are. So on 12 and 13 they're very similar in a couple ways. So the first thing you'll notice is that both the first and the fifth problem have blanks in the answers. Those are just solve using order of operations. Follow the order of operations, which I showed you yesterday, and you can see that this is what you're going to do. You're going to do parentheses, which is your groups, then exponents, then multiplication and division, then addition and subtraction, and in both of these steps you're moving left to right. Okay? If you make a mistake on this, you will generate an incorrect answer, but keep it tight, keep it accurate. Don't try and cram the work in these little margins. Take out a separate piece of paper. It can be computer paper, whatever you have laying around at home. We're all making do. If you have a whiteboard at home, great, you can use a whiteboard. But if you have a piece of paper, use that. So this second problem is one that so we looked at this second problem yesterday, okay? And we took a look at that, and I said you can set these as X or Y. If you have any questions about this problem, and really that corresponds to this problem as well, take a look at the video from yesterday, or that I posted early this morning, recorded yesterday. It basically tells you that you could set these two as X and Y. You can do the same thing here, and what you really need to do is get rid of these, because this is an equation and it's balanced on this point, which means if I can subtract 18 from both sides, anyway, that's all explained in the other video. When I look at this one looks really challenging because you're like, but Mr. Martinez, there's nothing on the other side of the equation. Exactly. There are multiple correct answers to this, and since this can be any single digit whole number, technically it could be 0 if you want. There's only 10 solutions, which means there's going to be 10 different answers. So we can all come up with something. But the way you solve this is put a number in there, and then solve it like you would this, and it's going to generate a number here. The only trick is, but if you choose a number that's too large, you may end up with a number that is not one digit. Again, I have not run every single solution on these, so that may be possible. So start, right? Don't get cute. That's one of our classroom tenets. Don't get cute. 2, 3 maybe, and you'll generate a number. The fourth problem on both of the pages is the most challenging, but we can still tackle that using what we know in math. Algebra is our friend here. So we're going to take this problem and transpose it right here. Now remember, the better your math number sense is, the better you are working with numbers, your math facts, the easier this is going to be. You need to be neat. I have dedicated one whole piece of paper to this page, so that way we can keep it nice and neat. So, same understanding I'm going to use when I look at algebra. I'm going to get rid of as much as I can from this side of the equation to isolate the variables. In this case, these are my variables. So again, I'm only going to do this problem. I'm not even going to finish it all the way. And then you're going to use what I teach you here to figure this out, okay? So, I'm going to get rid of this 11 because it's just plus 11. I can do that here. That leaves me with 9, and then it's all of this, 5 minus box in parentheses times 15 divided by box. Now that's gone, equals 9. Alright, so now what else can I do? This is tied together, so I'm not going to touch that right now. But when I look at this, I can divide by 15, because really it's this, I'm multiplying this part here. So I'm going to divide this whole side of the equation by 15. I'm going to divide it by 15, and instead of trying to come up with a decimal, which I know some of you guys are going to do, don't do that. Just leave it as 9/15, or its simplified version, right, as a fraction. If I divided that by 3 over 3, the greatest common factor of 9 and 15 is 3, so I would end up with 3/5. So let's drop 3/5 down here and say that equals, this is canceled out, that box is going to come down, and it's going to be 5 minus box in parentheses divided by box. Now I want to ask you a question that's hopefully going to help guide this. What does this line mean? Right? In a fraction, what does this line mean? You definitely know what that is. Okay? That's going to help you understand that. And if you think about it, it will be right there. Hint, hint, wink, wink. So if you can take this information and put it here, and take this and put it here, go back to the top and try to solve your problem. Okay? So again, once I have my variable here, I'm going to put it there. Once I have this variable, I'm going to put it there, and I'm going to test it to make sure it equals 20. Not 9, not 9/15 or 3/5, 20. Okay? You guys can do this. Okay? And it is the same set of steps for this problem on the back page, where you have just bigger numbers, there's an exponent involved, but don't panic, right? You can still get rid of that 4. Be careful, because division is not commutative, right? And this one might take you a little bit longer, but you probably blasted through these, so we can spend some time. Oops, that's upside down. We can spend some time working on these 10 problems. And if you get one wrong, it's not the end of the world, okay? And it'll be a good learning opportunity. So keep trying, stay with it. Keep the emails coming. Remember, go to your Gmail app to email me. And if you're not using a phone or a Mac product, just go on Google Chrome or any other web browser and go to Gmail and sign in using your school account. Okay? Keep watching these videos, and I will see you all in the classroom.